with our lovely full moon, we have some nice messages that began to pop up throughout the entire day. I've been trying to get it out of my mouth. And so this tells me that some of you are getting ready for some really awesome conversations with people. And that's potentially life partners, potentially other types of life partners. Okay? Either or. Nobody apologizes in the way of, I'm apologizing to you. I'm so sorry. That's not how we do apologies. We, one, don't expect apologies, but two, what we do is, thank you, Ron Siegel, express our true feelings. And that way we have genuine relationships. He says something different. He says, if we cannot express or are not expressing our true feelings, it's not going to be a genuine relationship. Yes, that's accurate, Ron. Okay, so who knows about genuine relationships? Yay. Okay, so who knows about mental clarity? Yay. Okay, so let me read to you the messages that came through so that I can get my message to you all out. Because really, it's amazing the number of times I've re-recorded this. Okay, confidence, confidence in the mental activity of accepting all of you, and that is because you have realized that there is not something blocking you. There are no blocks of energy for people who process emotions as they arise. The capacity to know the self through the life that we live, through the dance of life that we live, the dance that we live is with others. And so it's with emotions, it's with our day-to-day relationships, and in a life that is shared with other human beings. And those human beings are not all pachas. The 5D collective were pachas. The functional adults who do self-help and personal development and spiritual work, it's because we know true spirituality. It's a life of meaning, connection beyond the solo self. Means you know your solo self, your core self, your narrative self, your relational self. These are words that I got to learn, and these are all, use your human name. And you are also part of this lovely sphere of Akash, consciousness, God, essence of love and life. And that's why when we love with our heart and soul, we don't say goodbye. This is also why we can be blind, but we will know that that which is sacred, if it will have been taken away from us, that is that inner child which did not have a secure attachment home. But now that we are back home, which is what the full moon is sharing with me, you're all home with your 1-year-old. You're conscious lovers, which means you don't say goodbye. You say hello. I say hello, you say goodbye. And that's a Beatles song, isn't it cute? So people who say hello and goodbye and do this little tango dance, if they're doing it consistently, they're going to not be saying goodbye. If they say hello and goodbye in this way of consistently being not consistently in each other's lives, you're not going to grow a depth of anything. Okay, so you will have grown a secure connection, but you will not be participating in what is the depth of the beauty of life. What I'm talking about is life partners, relationships, those who want to be in your life always and forever. We're not getting any younger, some of us. We're getting older. And then when you're getting older, you're consolidating those who consistently want to share their heart with you. Doesn't get harder to love for the 5D collective. It gets easier. And I'm here for all of the 5D collective. So whenever we have younger ones of you, I'm not too old yet, but I'll get there. I'm already gray, but you can't tell because I color my hair. Okay, so as we get older, we don't want to change relationships. And even when you're younger, you want to consistently be able to build. And I'm lucky. For example, I have a beautiful herd. My herd expands. Okay, so with your herd is expanding too. And right now, though, there are some pieces that have been rearranged. And so the capacity to know that those differences in the dance of life with those people, the ones who are and have brought to you more of you, are going to stick around. The ones who you noticed were bringing not the best out of you, they're the ones who have been to the side. And that is why, 1 second, a capacity, because I'm translating the Italian channeled guidance that came through in English, the capacity to wake up and to go to sleep every day with those who bring a smile to your heart, not tears. Okay, so smiles are important because life can give you and will gift you a lot of different aspects, uncertainties, unexpected, unwanted. And so, life partners, whether romantic or not, are people who support each other. You will, in a lifetime, build, if you have secure attachment, if you are a member of your herd, you're a true spirituality person, you want to grow relationships, you will consistently navigate towards human love and away from the human suffering narrative. The human suffering narrative is for people, they have that you say hello and goodbye in a way of consistently thinking that changing it up is going to bring them somewhere. So they're eventually they're going to fizzle out and settle down with some type of group, but they're more like Diego's group, the toxic family system of we abandon each other when we are sticking together. We're not the abandoning each other. We stick together like a pacha with a Cusco, and that's it. And we don't leave. We don't abandon ship. And we wake up though every morning sharing. We want to wake up happy, so we allow each other to pick a herd. That herd is moving beyond old models of thinking because you have to. So they accept different lifestyles, polyamory, monoamory, he, she, it, they. They also accept lovely mystics, and they don't talk about us as demons or devils, or that yoga brings demons or devils, or they don't do any of this outdated mode stuff, okay? So you're not with spiritual bypassers. You're not with the fear-mongering human beings. You're not with people, men, women, or theys who actually uphold what is closed-minded, narrow thinking, or people who are going to judge people based on their looks and stuff like that in a way that is very, it's not your crowd. Of course, we have a variety, but you're not going to be around Diego crowds. Okay, so some people, they have Diego crowds, and we're going to leave that one. You're emotionally evolved. You have a bigger relationship with your feminine, and therefore you have your inner child adult, and you have functional adult love language. So you're not about dysregulated nervous systems anymore. You are about, and if that was something that was a part of some of you, I know you were consistently not navigating dysregulation, but others will have navigated dysregulated, the low self-esteem groups that cancel and block each other, and they don't have emotionally in-depth conversations. Okay, so there's people with chips on their shoulders. You can't talk to anyone. They don't know how to be their own safe haven, secure base. We know how to be our own safe haven, secure base, so to self-regulate. That's why we're conscious lovers. Okay, so your flow is the feminine and masculine together, and you are able to harness your unconscious because you are able to harness your prefrontal cortex and know that your thoughts and emotions are not irrefutable facts, and then to talk about them. You know about bringing together all of your parts of self, so you don't have to call it the soul retrieval shamanic work, or how light and shadow are coming together, meaning that you don't need identifiers, that we use words, we use a bountiful of words. But your host here shares with you, use your human name, use thoughts, emotions, inner growth mindset. Use you have a heart, bring it all together, and now let's vibe like a tribe, and you go with your flow, not mine, and you be yourself. And that's why you can consistently expand open-heartedly like Jesus taught me, and you will have learned it from your choice. You can call it Holy Spirit, you can call it Akash, you can call it Source, you call it whatever you want, but it's an open heart, and it's called actually restorative embodiment self-aware people with regulation skills, accountability. So you're moving more and more to what your body was moving towards in the first place, and what full moon, new moon, and all ascension energies keep on bringing up. It is heal the trauma charges, heal the trust breaks, heal all that is in human suffering. Note, because you don't have to suffer. You don't need to use your temporal junction. Use your left and use your right and do the little wiggle room dance, and don't make it about you, Cusco. That's the teenager, 16-year-old with a 3-year-old that's not being tended to by the prefrontal cortex of you. Okay, so you do, I have a prefrontal cortex, my thoughts, my emotions, they're mine. And so consistently and with perseverance and with patience, you work with knowing there's no adverse powers. Nobody's trying to get you, not a man, not a woman, not a they. If you have any remote physical potential danger where you actively feel, you go and you make a report to the cops. You don't gossip about it. You don't label a human being. You don't cast a stone, which is what other people do. You don't use your temporal junction to make assumptions and to use big words, which is what Cuscos consistently do around town. What I'm saying is, 1-to-1, you have any emotional, mental, physical potential fear, you go and you use those entities that we have, independently from their imperfection as well. You stay grounded in aliveness, and you remember to look for evidence to prove or disprove, because the family in the head, the inner critic and outer critic, is a chit chatter of a black and white thinking, split thinking, and these are all Cusco type attitudes of people who make up shit in their brain. The ones who basically are talking about humans as energy vampires, dark auras. Yes, or as people when they're in their shadow self or light self, they have these ways that they perform. It's okay. If you're in your angry circuit, you want to look for ways to process it, not be on a screen yelling and saying that you are channeling God or you're channeling whoever Lucifer's coming to get you. I'm thinking you're actively in what is structural dissociation as I'm watching you on screen do this thing, which I am a mystic. Again, I understand what you're doing. I also understand, psychologically speaking, what's happening. And I'm also understanding that you are not actively in the groundedness of you, but that you are in a structural dissociative moment on a screen using what is a brain stem, because your prefrontal cortex is offline and you are actively in the unconscious, your 0, 1 to 8, whatever parts you're playing out of your child self. And then you have a story and you're using the story. Okay, so that's why it's important to note our mental hygiene and our mental health means that you have emotional hygiene and emotional health, which also means you know how to stay grounded and say, you know what, I'm having one of those days. I want to go and have a share with my friends. Some people, they don't like this because they want, their body's inclined to desire to vent. The desire to vent will keep you stale and stagnating in a 16-year-old charged state that doesn't need to be there, and a 3-year-old with a broken heart that doesn't need to be there either, and a structural dissociative doesn't need to be there either. Which is why journaling and meditating and mindfulness support people to heal, because the whole point of doing that is saying, let me get myself to equanimity, neutrality and duality, let me keep my heart open, and let me remind my 14-month-old, our thoughts and emotions are not irrefutable facts, and I am having a moment, I'm having a day. It's okay, 3-year-old, it's okay, 16-year-old, we're not spiting anyone. You take ownership, conscious lover, there you go. So you will have learned how to be able to do this. It's not boring, it's called empowering, and self-empowered men and women enjoy to have. So when I have a day, I want, in the case of a person who's going to share building, to be able and have what is called a very productive mental and emotional conversation where it's not being judged as if the emotions are good or bad. No judgment, no words coming out of the brain of a person regarding any of those basic emotions. The minute that you give your left mode the capacity to speak about emotions and to separate them in good or bad, you've doubled down, 1, on the bad. 2, you've created what is a stone, you've casted, you've also enclosed that sensation into a box, so you're not exploring it from pure consciousness, which is meaning you're not going to expand it. So when you're interacting with a human being, if they're using this while you're talking to them, you're going to feel it here, and now you've just basically added to my load, which I was not trying to have your opinion on it. I was actually wanting to share something. Learning how to pause. I'm still learning sometimes. I have done, and I'm practicing with my loved ones when they want to share their emotion. I say, I'm so sorry I interrupted you. I'm going to try again. Because sometimes a person's just wanting to get that emotion out. Important, you witness, process, and with yourself and other, though, you also go to the Jacob and you say, there's not a right or wrong. I am processing something that's uncertain, unexpected, unwanted. This is expanding consciousness, which is why I don't want to do personal development. I want life now. Life is happening now. You either are on or you're not. You choose what you want to do. And with that being said, nobody is trying to come get you. What I was trying to get, and you know what? I think they're doing it on purpose to piss me off. Teenager, it's not all about you. Oh, 3-year-old in the corner. I'm sorry, your teenager won't pay attention to you, and they're spiting the grown-up who didn't pay attention to 1-year-old, and now they're taking it out on that person who apparently did something that they're making a big deal out of. But we can't say you're making a big deal out of it, because of course you're not making a big deal out of it. But are you processing the emotion that's coming up by any chance? Oh no, you want to go and do that thing over there. I see. That's not going to help that shame cycle or the shame continuum. You want to get out completely. The other side is, there's not a right or wrong in this equation. My moral principle book of code is I won't affect your life physically, emotionally, or mentally. And if you are in any way, shape, or form interacting with me, well, I have power over my thoughts, my mental, over my emotions, my body in my right mode, over my physical. Look, my 3-year-old, what can I do in 24 hours? I'm going to go have fun with the people that, okay? So, nobody is against you. They're trying to do it on purpose. You got it? Okay, good. So our transformation, the butterfly, it's a beautiful day. We will always reap that which we sow. And the way that you contemplate and conceptualize your thoughts and your emotions of a day-to-day in your relationships is what is going to take priority, precedence, and therefore affect and be the butterfly of you. So if people want to do life is all suffering, Maria. Enlightenment, you can only get there through suffering. You cannot be a Jesus, a Buddha, a Sadhguru. Well, Sadhguru has something different to share, and so do I. Yes, you can be all. Why? Because they are mammals. They have a restorative embodiment self, and the attachment trauma therapists I learned from, they all know how you can get there. I know you can get there, and that's what the 5D Collective, healing trauma, 1% at a time, relationship at a time. It's called Functional Adults. We know true love. True love is pure. It's unconditional. It's flawed, imperfect, but with integrity, which is, knock, knock, who's there? Are you going to stick around, or are you going to leave again? You're going to leave again. Okay, well, you know what? Sooner or later, I'm going to be busy with my time. So you're going to knock, knock. I don't have time. I'm sorry. I don't know where so, and that's what happens. So some people, they will have been brought to you, others away from you, but the priority is that you know those who you want to share the life that is tomorrow. And that is because they expand you from here, and they expand you from here, and all of you. And so, as our life does grow shorter by the minute, for those of us who know we're mortal beings, we will not be waiting around for any person to come and figure out who they love and who they don't love and all those things. So, for Twin Flame and Flames, there's no saga or drama. That is where the connection and the oversoul, the relationship, is unique to the people who have those relationships. The people who made it into what they've made it into, leave it alone. That's something we've talked about before. Also, please remember that you are awoken to your true spirituality from the moment that you begin life. It's just some people that something that they lost that was sacred, that they then go looking for, that is called your 1-year-old. And your 2 and your 3-year-old, that matters. Find it very easy to believe, Maria, that my implicit memory matters. And my 16-year-old, I want to be the owner of it. Good. And so genuine relationships, we share our childhood stuff, our trigger stuff, what we're working on stuff. And that's why, luckily for every person in 2024, there's great therapists out there and people that are authentically healing, and authentically, because there's the one who romanticize it. So they're not healing. They're actively saying, here's who I am. You can't treat me like that. Oh, we're going to be back with another episode. So, because I want to share some stories. But yes, thank you for all of you who are here today. Again, let us remember to thank all of our brothers and sisters, the 8 billion and plus growing, as a piece of consciousness. What I can share as Sadhguru and any true spirituality mystic. Sciences, they don't talk about us the same way, but we do have Dr. Dan. He talks about us in a way that is beautiful. And his way is saying how we can all become safe haven, secure bases, and then create a world of a secure attachment family. That means a healthy self-worth family, means men and women and theys who have healthy sense of self-worth, so that they have their restorative embodiment self, they have their mental hygiene in the forefront. Mental health doesn't mean that we don't do no extremes, no. So Dr. Dan shares how our entire globe can become a secure attachment globe, which I agree with, because I'm a political science major, and if we have conscious leaders, which are conscious leaders are active leaders in my book. Then again, others want to say anybody who's leading is a leader, so we're going to leave that out there. But in my pure consciousness book, it's if you have a flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain, because that means that I know you're using your mental and emotional intelligence and that you're not stupid and only using your mental, not intelligence. Because the minute that you're dissecting things and you're chipping away at a rock, I'm seeing you chip away at a rock and slowly it's degrading to dust, and that's what's happening. So, side note, what I was trying to say is that with each other, we can become a secure attachment, is what Dr. Dan, versus a disorganized attachment planet, which is frightening, terrifying, toxic family. Their way of sticking together is by abandoning each other. So think of Diego's herd. It's not human nature to be Diego's herd. No, that's the mammalian. Nope, that's the safety behavior. Oh, wait, what is that again? That's from our ancestors. That's right. That's from a survival mode. And so anyone who's standing around like Braveheart, they don't notice that they're also in survival mode. The ones of us who are in restorative embodiment self, those are the people who are soft. We're compassionate. I won't use the word kind because those who see compassion don't always feel or think of us as kind. They will actually confuse us with those who are the 7 to 14 charming that they think know the truth. And while they think that Peter Pan knows everything, those lost boys were like, wow, Cusco, squirrels, you got a very interesting way of thinking about yourself. You don't want to be yourself, I see. So when you find misanthropists, they mistrust, distrust, and hate humans and sometimes genders and all that, and marriage too. And that's the minute you know you got a person who's in a survival mode. They have a trust break of some sort and they did not heal it yet. Okay, so that's all disorganized, avoidant, and also ambivalent. That means they don't have the self and secure attachment, so their lens is not yet clear. FYI, it's not a race or a competition, okay? Okay, so long story short, we can all become default mode network downregulated. Well, all, I don't know about all, but I'm trying to share that those of you who are here, we can be that unconditional love that is with flaws and imperfections, with integrity, that creates, I accept and love you for who you are. No matter your mood, you come my way, I will tell you in your face, that's not okay. You don't need to apologize. I will ensure that we continue to grow a genuine and deep relationship to the extent of us being honest with each other. And those who want to become life partners, you will know who they are because they will consistently speak to you. They're not here 4D, and any person who will bask in the world of that which is our oversoul. Well, life, it's short. I have 24 hours. This human being right here, you know what that means? It means tomorrow I could die. It means I could die right now. You know what that means for a person who wants to be my life partner? If you're not consistently in my active ear, making me aware of what you want, I know that you don't want that. I don't need you to text me back. This is the one thing about anything when it comes to love being easy. For those who have self-love in the forefront, we don't need to keep people around. Sounds like a prison when you say it that way. You want to learn to keep a man? No, not really. Not really. No, I don't think I want cords or leashes or whips. Please, get away from me. So with that, again, side note again and again, some people know what love is. It's we enjoy, we support, we talk, we even have passionate debate. Now, passionate debates, don't get me started, because see, when you have empowered people around, that's why it gets nice. Empowered men and women and they. So we'll be back again with more. Have a great full moon. We might have something more for you tomorrow. We might not. I'll find out tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you again for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe if you like. And with those who you are going to think, no, that you know, enjoy self-help, personal development, 5D mystic land, spiritual consulting and guidance, and food for thought, and things that we talk about here. It's all about unconsciously loving who we are, helping our world to heal from trauma and to have beautiful, self-reliant and self-regulating and basically relationships where we don't have to wear chips on our shoulders, but we can also know that some people, they don't want to be here. That's all. Some people don't want to learn how to share more emotions. Go figure, right? They got laundry. What are we going to say? There's a Zen master over there for those who have laundry. We have love and gooey ooey ooey-ness. We'll be back again. Have a great one.